Hello and welcome to Serious Projects. Today I'm going to tell you how the charging circuit on this is super dangerous. To start off, this battery is a single nickel something battery. I don't know, the markings have worn off and it's practically exploded. So the way how this type of airplane works, you've probably seen one of them, you take it, you put in the batteries, you pop it in to the bottom, and then you turn it off, you wait a few seconds for it to charge. It literally says in the manual, wait for the battery to get warm. Now whenever you have a battery that gets warm, how good do you think that is? It isn't. So then, after you wait about 10-15 seconds or the battery to get warm, sometimes you can't even feel the battery. This one is like 10-15 years old, so I can't really tell, and also it doesn't really hold any charge. So then you unplug it, then you just take it, and it goes. So, now you might be asking, well, so what's so dangerous about it? And I just broke the tail. Well, the reason why it's dangerous is because the circuit inside of that is literally just nothing. You just take the batteries, and it dumps voltage into the battery in the bottom of the plane. Like that green thing right there, it's covered up so when it hits the ground it doesn't explode. So once you have it plugged in, like once you have these plugged in, they just create a fully connected series circuit that just dumps voltage into that battery. That's it. Maybe there might have been a resistor or two that I missed, but it literally just dumps it in there because there's no current control. There's a a constant connection loop. So in other words, when I test it with my voltmeter, it literally just says that there's no resistance, nothing behind it, and it says it's a perfectly good connection to it. And yeah, so it's wildly unsafe for a few reasons. One, if you leave it plugged in for too long and the thing gets too hot, it could explode, it could melt, it could do a bunch of stuff. And well, with batteries like that, they could even catch fire. So it's unsafe. Nowadays, we have things like this. Well, at least what's inside of here. Inside of here, or this is a 10S BMS battery, and it's a 36 volt, 2 amp hours. So that means that there's 10 cells in here, and each cell has 2 amp hours of capacity. So this cord is not connected directly to the cells. It's connected to a BMS, or battery management system. Sometimes it's also a balance management system. It's weird. It's technically both. You could use both words because they both are technically true. So what this does is very important. It limits the charge when you're charging these cells, and also limits the discharge of the cells, which means that once the cells in here get low enough in voltage, so usually when you have them charged at 4.25 volts, when they finish discharging, they're usually at 3.6 volts. And the reason why you want that is because if the cells discharge too low, you can't charge them back again. The chemistry on the inside of them are made specifically so that once they reach a voltage somewhere below 3-ish volts, they literally will disconnect, and you're not allowed and you can't charge them because it makes the chemicals inside very unstable and very just unstable. So having something like this that controls how much you're charging it by and how much you're discharging it by is really useful. And they didn't really have that back then, so stuff like this, it was just, if it feels hot, unplug it, wait a little bit, and then throw it. So yeah, it's really unsafe. So, because if you leave it plugged in, you'll burn your hands, and there's a reason why they don't have these anymore. Apparently something happened with a kid and burned a finger. It might have been me. But what do you call it? So that's really just so unsafe, where you have no BMS versus BMS. Everything you buy has a BMS, except the lead battery. Only because those lead batteries, it's really hard to get them to go wrong. Like, it's like if you've ever taken a lead battery, you could drain so much current from it, it's crazy. I mean, granted, the voltage will drop faster, but you're not going to get a huge explosion because it's lead. Now, if you do that with a LiPo battery, or a lithium-ion battery, anything with lithium in it, and you drain it really quick and too much, it's going to heat up, catch fire, explode, and you're going to have a nice bill for repairs on your hands. So, another thing that they could also technically use is something like this. And here, let me unplug that. This is a balance charger. You take lithium polymer batteries or lead batteries or whatever you want, you plug it into here, and this charges it at a slow rate and safe rate, constantly monitoring the voltage to make sure that it actually charges. So if I were to take something like that battery and charge it with this to make sure that the voltage doesn't go too much and I'm not charging it as fast, it'll be a lot safer to use. Instead of this, which is just dump current into it, dump voltage into it, have fun. So this type of stuff is really, really useful. Granted, these are a bit expensive, but they're worth it, and, well, they overheat sometimes, so you can see the little DIY hack that I did, plus a Dell power supply, because this thing works off 12 volts. So, yeah, that's really it. Just the fact that it's, try and get it right, versus the computer will tell it for you, or the computer will tell you to unplug it, is, yeah, it's so much less safe than modern day stuff, and that's the reason why everything you buy either has a BMS in the cable, or the charging management system in the cable, or attached to the battery itself. So if you ever find one of these, just be careful. It's not as smart as you think they are. That's the reason why these were made for so cheap. And yeah, let's see if this flies without a tail. Nope, and it fell apart. So we'll see you next Sunday, 8 a.m. as per usual. And yeah, it's gonna be the zombie flashlight one. I just wanted to say that the reason why I'm doing this video instead of the zombie flashlight is because the zombie flashlight is taking a while to edit. The video ended up being over an hour long when I was filming it, not including the extra stuff that I had to add in the middle. So yeah, cutting down a 77 gigabyte one take is not very fun, but I'm gonna make the video anyway. So I will see you guys next Sunday. Thanks for